Okay, so this next video is going to explain how to get from having stitches cast on to ready to get started for your magic loop, and then how to use it. So right now, all of your stitches are in a straight line. This is just kind of like what they would be if you're going to be knitting a dishcloth or a scarf or whatever else. So since we want to knit in the round, the first thing we're going to do is move our stitches to the center of the cord. Then pick somewhere kind of in the middle-ish. It's not really important here. Bend it in half and pull your cord up through the center so that they're divided. Now, if you were doing some kind of a pattern that had some repeats or something like that, where you're doing like 8 stitches that were all kind of the same and then you're repeating that pattern, you'd want to be intentional about where the break was. But for something like a baby hat, it doesn't really matter. All right. So the next thing you want to do is get part of it on the needle. So looking here, you've got the kind of clean end. Then you've got the end that's got your tails coming off of it. So leave the end with tails coming off of it be. We're going to take that blank end and push it out here onto the needle. And hold it like we're going to get ready to knit them. So it'll go in your left hand. Now, pull that long, we have another needle we can knit with. Now the only thing that we need to do here is get our stitches arranged, and I think they kind of look like 2 little caterpillars. They've got their bodies and their little legs. So make sure that your caterpillars are sitting back to back, because if one of them goes all twisty-turvy, then you're going to start knitting something really wonky. All right. So I've got both of my caterpillars sitting back to back. I've made sure that my yarn isn't coming up over the cord, because if it's coming over the cord, then I've accidentally done a yarn over. But even if that happens, we could fix that later. All right, so then you're ready to knit. The only difference now is that your working yarn is coming up off this back cord instead of from over here. So I'm going to stick my needle in as if to knit. Catch it, bring it through, and now we're all joined up. We've got a circle. All right, I'm going to knit through these that I have on my needle real quick, because eventually what's going to happen is you're going to run out of stitches on that left needle. And normally what you would do would be to turn your work. But here you're not knitting front, back, front, back, front, back like you would for a dishcloth. On this, you're actually knitting in like a spiral. So you're only looking at the outside of the hat, you know, kind of the front of your work. All right. So there's the last stitch. Oh no, there is now nothing on my left needle. And if I want to keep knitting, I need something to be on my left needle. So I've got stuff that's been knit on my right, my left is empty, so what do I need to do? I need to put stuff on my left needle. All right. So I'm just going to take the stitches that I haven't done anything with and slide them onto that empty needle. And then I'm going to pull the back needle out. And there's my working yarn, so I'm ready to go again. The first stitch is always the wonky stitch, but in any case, it's the same as how you would knit normally. And then you can just knit through your row. Let me get to the end here and I'll show you one more time, just in case you didn't get it. Oop, wasn't on the camera there. I don't know what kind of creature would wear a hat this tiny. This is like a hat for a gnome. Or perhaps a cat. Like a cat sock. Oh, Moose would love me. That last one's loose, but that's okay. Oop. Okay. My left is empty, so I'm going to drop it. Slide the stuff onto it. See, this is why it doesn't matter how long your cord is. It's actually hard if it's too short. Okay, slide everything onto there. Pull your back one out. And if you've done it right, you should have your working yarn coming off of the back. I got to be careful here that I'm not putting it up and over. And from the back, I'm ready to go again. And that's how you do the magic loop method.